Winning versus development. This is an article written in 2015 by Paul Camerata, who is part of the coachingjourney.org website. I'm not sure if they're active anymore because the last archives are from 2018. Hopefully they're active, but this is a great article. I'm gonna, or blog, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to read it to you, and it stands true to this day. We have a problem. Winning versus development. And it goes on saying, win. It becomes a taboo word, that is win, not just in soccer, but in all youth sports. Most recently, the debate has become an issue of coaches choosing winning or development, as if they are mutually exclusive. Coaches who develop players the right way don't have to choose either, or because winning and development go hand in hand. But first, you have to understand what winning truly means. The idea we face today that winning doesn't matter, only development, stems from the extreme win-at-all-cost mentality that many involved with any youth sport promote. Because of that extreme, the polar opposite has arisen, where we tell our players that winning doesn't matter, and here is our ultimate issue. Winning matters, but development matters more. Let me say that again. Winning matters, but development matters more. That he hits the nail on the head right there. That's exactly the situation we're in. When I was coaching, like all the time with youth sports, I always had the mentality of I wanted to play a certain way, and I wanted to develop players to develop in such a way that they could handle the ball in any situation in the game. They weren't scared to have it. So therefore, the rest of the game was easy. And the parents would get on me nonstop. When you want to work on tactical, when you want to do fitness, when we're going to do this, and I'm like, until every kid is technically sound with the ball and not scared to have it, and then we can do those things. Because what's the point of playing possession with the ball or playing any system if you have 3 or 4 kids on the field that are scared to have the ball? How do you get them in a situation of not being scared to have the ball? You have to teach them how to manipulate the ball and be able to handle pressure with the ball in a 1v1, 1v2, 1v3 at all times. Just be able to spin, turn, pull back behind, roll and go, and every move I used to teach to get out of that situation. If they could do that, they're not scared to have the ball, and the rest is easy, in my opinion. So that was my focus, and I always had to explain to the parents. I'm like, do you want to win this weekend, or do you want to win a national title? Oh, it's a win a national title. Okay, so we're going to try to win a national title. And they're like, wow, that's not possible. No, it is possible. But the only way that's possible is everyone on this team is not scared to have the ball. And we can dictate the pace of the game. We can control the time frames with the ball. We could slow the game down to snail pace. We can knock the ball. We could really ruin the game for the opposition if they're a big athletic team. But the only way to beat a big athletic team that wants to go straight down your throat every time with the ball is you have to keep the ball. You have to slow it down and not be scared to possess it everywhere. Let's understand that they both matter. There's a score at the end of the game. There is generally a winning team and a losing team in games. There's a reason. However, there are quotations around both those words. What does winning mean after all? Does winning mean having the better score in a U7 league game? Does winning mean a team that goes unbeaten in Division I in their U8 group? In some, yes. For me, winning, or more specific, a winning mentality means players who develop are hungry and determined to give 100% at improving everything they do. Inspire our youth to be hungry and motivated to improve constantly and at whatever they do, and soon the hunger to win games will also develop. Too often, however, we start on the wrong end. Let's first look at the argument of why winning over development survives to this day. And then let's look at what kids think. This is their game after all. By the age of 13, 70% of kids involved in organized sports drop out of the game. Often the reason is that they aren't having fun anymore and they've lost interest. Here's where winning at all costs come to life. After all, when adults take their own personal experience, winning is always equated to fun. They fondly remember their times as a player, coach, or even spectator and the elation that came from winning. The equation is simple. With the win at all cost mentality, if kids aren't winning, kids will want to drop out because they aren't having fun. Who enjoys losing? It's a poisonous idea that permeates through all aspects of youth sports and is one of the major factors that kids dropping out of organized sport at an alarming rate. Read again, the winning at all costs, adultification of youth sports is the most dangerous aspect of youth development. Do kids want to win games? Yes, but how long do they dwell on losing as compared to mom and dad? By the age of 13, around 70% of kids involved in organized sports drop out. It's a fact worth repeating. And in all that debate, adults are the ones throwing around what kids want. It's fascinating when a 50-year-old is explaining that their 7-year-old son or daughter wants. Luckily for us, however, someone much smarter than myself decided to do the study, where they simply ask kids what exactly they want from sports. The results are fascinating and incredibly encouraging if you believe in a winning mentality. Project Play from the Aspen Institute reports on a study conducted in 2014 by George Washington University where kids were asked why they participate in sports. Over 90% of children responded that they participate in sports because it was fun. Fun, however, means a lot of different things for a lot of different people. The children were asked to describe what fun meant for them, and 81 different explanations arose throughout the study. 81 different explanations for what fun means, ranked in order of most important as a response. Guess where winning ends up? Top 5? Top 10? Top 20? Top 40? Try 48th on the list. Now, I'm going to stop it right there. So I want to make sure before people just turn this podcast off. Oh, it's about fun, having a win mentality and all that. It's not always fun, and the whole Rocky thing. Yeah, I get that. But the best players in the game of soccer or any sport, they enjoyed what they did. There's some aspect of enjoyment. You cannot take enjoyment out. There's a connection within the brain and the body through enjoyment. If they enjoy what they're doing and they love what they're doing, they're going to connect their body in a different way. They're going to advance to a higher level in a different way. Enjoyment and fun does matter. This is a prerequisite. This is the development. This is the foundation. This is allowing them to be able to get to the point of going through struggles, the whole Rocky, messages we give and all that about motivational. If you don't have a strong foundation, there is no Rocky message for you. It's not going to happen. And my son, who is 14, I need to make sure he's loving the game. And I've done a pretty good job of that. He loves the game, but I'm not going to stop developing that. He's enjoying it in so many different ways, but a coach and a team can do that. If he's allowed to touch the ball and he's allowed to have success with the ball and enjoy those fun factors of the game, he can enjoy it for a lifetime. And if it goes to playing at a high level at the university or professional, whatever it is, so be it. But my job as a father, as a supporter of the game, is to make sure my son plays, or any of my children play the game for a lifetime, regardless of level. Love the game for a lifetime because they have a different outlook and love for the game of soccer. Winning was ranked by children as the 48th most important reason to describe fun. 48th, people. Trying your best, being treated with respect by the coach, and getting playing time are at the most important factors that kid define fun by. Tournaments and trophies, not up there. Sorry, folks. This is fun for one group, certainly, but unfortunately, they aren't the ones playing. Trying your best is essentially the idea of giving 100%. It's the winning mentality, and if we can continue to foster it, we are one step ahead of the game in helping to create winners. Kids generally forget about results soon after the game is over. The game is really won or lost. However, in the car ride home, as Project Play explains, kids often forget about the result 10 minutes after the game is over, but are often reminded of it constantly in the car ride home and at dinner that night. We are responsible for an environment we create for our players and our children. If you think your son or daughter values lies in winning a medal at the end of the year, even if they have, which is often the case in a win at all cost mentality, regressed in technical development or tactical awareness, then you would much prefer playing in Division 5 where your team can win 7-0 every game. You'll get a lot of trophies to put on the mantle piece, but they'll all stop at a certain age. The obsession for short-term success had decidedly destroyed the long-term possibilities for players. Instead of harping on the most recent scoreline in your league game, why not watch the game and see where your son or daughter could improve? Why not explain to them, as coaches should be doing also, that they have to strive for perfection within themselves before they worry about perfection manifested in scoreline and results. At 7, we are talking about perfection. No, but we are extolling the values of hard work, a never quit attitude, and always working to get better. That's what perfection is. This is why I keep telling everyone, do math. Focus on every little aspect of their opportunities on the ball, regardless of position. You should focus on every opportunity on the ball. What do they do with it? Is it successful? Is it a failure? Do they pass the ball forward? Do they pass the ball backwards? Are they dribbling and beat players? I mean, there's so many aspects of the game of soccer that's not being paid attention to by the parents and coaches. It needs to be fixed. Winning is important, but development is more important. Develop the winning mentality. See kids take ownership of their own technical development. Understand that 1 hour of practice a week is not enough, and watch the results come. Eventually is the key word here. Don't expect that this to happen over a course of a week, a season, maybe a year. Development is not a straight line. Ups will come with downs, and development does not mean constant, unchecked progression. Watch your teams and watch how they play. Are they encouraged to play out of the back, pass to the keeper, play the ball on the ground and take chances? Mistakes will happen and games will be lost. Does your team kick the ball as far as they can so the striker can score a lot of goals? Mistakes will be minimized and you will undoubtedly win some trophies. Trust in the teams that play the right way and learn from their mistakes, but don't take my advice for it. I prefer Loreno Ruiz's explanation, the man who many claim to be the reason behind Barcelona's playing style. He's quoted by saying, "Let's us say that you and I coach 2 teams with kids that are 10, 11, and 12 years old and are all about equally good. You try to teach them to play good football, a passing game, and with tactical basics, while I tell mine to only play long ball and try to shoot. I can assure you that at first, I will always win against you. By using your mistakes, break a bad pass and goal. If we, however, continue with the same training method during a 3-year period, you will most likely win every game against us. Your players will have learned how to play while mine haven't. That's how easy it is." Wow. That is America. I always said that when I was coaching my kids. I'm like, let us work on technique. Let's work on our technical ability, our tactical style, which is keep the ball. Give me 3 years. And by the time they get to 13, 14 years old, we're going to kill those teams that would beat us. We'd kill them because they would never get the ball. It is so true. But there's not enough coaches out there willing to take a team for that long, and they're not willing to go through that progress because we live in a world, we live in a place, especially in America, we want instant gratification right now because we can't function without it because we need our McDonald's. Unfortunately, as many coaches who value proper development know, it isn't always easy. It takes a village to educate a child. Coaches can and should do their part to ensure they are developing a player for long-term success, but we need help from the parents too. The environment we create for these players is the utmost importance. Next time you're watching your son or daughter play, forget the result at the end. The result only serves to guide your player on what they need to do to improve on. Nothing more. I have dozens of trophies and medals from my own days playing sports as a youth. And to be completely honest, I barely remember any of them. As a coach, my fondest memory isn't the victories I've had with different teams, nor is the playoff appearances or tournaments I've been to or ever won. My fondest memory is much more simple and much more memorable. It was a text I received a week ago from a former player who thanked me for changing the mentality of the program he was in and for giving him an experience that was instrumental to his high school career. The focus wasn't on short-term success. It was always much larger than that. Develop and win. One comes before the other, and for good reason. Paul Camarada. That was an excellent article, and he is so right. I'm gonna contact him. I need to have him on my podcast. He is so right, and I receive messages from past players that were with me for 3-4 years in the youth system that end up leaving for a better team or whatever, go to college, come back, or send me a message while in their college and just thank me for what I taught them, because the moves and everything I taught are to help kids at the highest level, to be able to do them against anybody. I gave them opportunity, and they can use them. And the problem is when you learn such a creative move to escape pressure, the things I teach, it takes 2-3 years, if not 10 years, to be able to apply. Repetition matters. It's important to learn as much as you can early as possible to be able to and have enjoyment for a lifetime. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this article. I surely did. It was a great reminder of what we should do. So parents, you're very important. Coaches, you need to have some courage, and clubs, have a direction that makes sense. Develop. I think I think your club would grow if you focus on that versus, we're part of the MLS Academy or whatever you're claiming your niche is. So anyways, see you guys tomorrow.